Hi everyone, Emma here. So if you've seen my friend mail from Diane video, you'll know what I'm doing right now. So here's the idea is there were so many items that she sent me that I either needed, wanted, um, knew a project I could do something with right away. So I challenged myself to do as many things as I can with this in the next couple of days. So I'm just like, I love this guy. So that's not what we're making today. So let's put this guy down. So we're going to start with these pave balls. And they are gorgeous. And I am going to, so I had an idea to use these guys here. Let me show you. So I had thought about, so I've never used these before and I've had them in my cart and then put them back and wasn't sure, like I have seen some bracelet designs with these guys, but yeah, so it's so cool to get them for sure. So I thought we could do something like this. So make a bracelet, this being the main part of the bracelet, and then putting some bead weaving on the edges. So I think that's what we're going to do. So let's move this back and get a new mat out and get this going. So let's move this down. I have a huge desk. I remember when I brought the desk home, it was donated to me. And my wife's like, what are you going to do with that? I'm like, oh, it's my desk. She's like, okay. So let's enlarge this and get this in focus here. So of course we're going to need some other components for this. And I just realized there's a part of this I don't have, but we'll get to it. So we're going to get some dragon thread. I've got some green. And we are going to get some, it's my lovely marker for my 80 seed beads. That should be enough actually for what we're doing. So it's actually, let's move this a little so it's out of the way. Oh, look, I have them. That's not how I want it. Okay, let's get some of these guys. I don't think we need a whole lot, but, and then I have some 11 seed beads. And these are the 8/0s. So, anybody guess what we're doing? So I already went ahead and got my needle threaded, and I pulled a big piece of the thread, and I do an arm's span, and then I add about 10 inches. And the reason being is when I go to put a clasp on the end of this, I want to have a substantial amount so that I don't have to worry. I tend to go shorter and then I end up having to add thread, which is really annoying. So that's so I guess I should tell you what we're doing. And I'm gonna tilt my camera here. First of all, it's kind of wonky. Let's see if that works. I may have to adjust that. We're doing herringbone stitch. So I'm so excited. Here's the deal with herringbone stitch, and you may have heard me say this before, is when I started doing bead weaving about 2.5 years ago when I started this channel, I tried herringbone stitch, and I didn't like, this is so silly, but I didn't like that the beads didn't sit perfectly next to each other. Can you tell I'm a perfectionist? I'm gonna move this down, and I want you to see behind the beads. So just recently I was like, you know what? I need to take a look at this and try it again. Maybe my opinion will be different. And oh my God, I am so hooked. So I've made a ton of bracelets. So let's go ahead and now just be aware that this is new to me, even though I've done about 6 bracelets in the last couple of days. Um, I noticed there's different ways to start it, so we'll just go through it and I will direct you to other videos. One video that's really good is Jill Wiseman has some excellent tutorials on specific stitches, so she's a great person to look at, and they're nice and short. She gets to the point with it, so that's something I like too. But I also, one of the videos that I followed was Allie from Potomac Beads, and I'll find it and link it to this, but she does a specific bracelet design with the herringbone, and she shows you how to start it as well, so that's good. So you start with a ladder stitch, so you put 4 of your large beads on, which are the 8 O beads, and bring it down. Now you can use a stop bead, but you know what, I find I weave it in so quickly that there's no point to putting a stop bead. It kind of gets in the way. So bring it down to the end, but remember to leave your tail for how much you want to do your clasp. And I go through all of them. Some of them will only go through 2 of the beads, and it's just choice, because you're going to go through all of them creating a loop with your thread. So hang on to your tail like that, and you'll see when you pull it down, it folds over into a bit of a square. So that will tighten in a second here, there, like that. So now I'm going to go back up. Now you could essentially start adding your ladder stitch this way, but I'm just going to go up and down just to make sure this is nice and snug. The great thing about using the 8 O's is it's super fast to do something because they're bigger. So we could actually flip this and add this way. Let's try that, because it doesn't really matter where our tail is coming out of as long as it's on the opposite side. So we're going to pick up 2 coming out of this side. We're going to go into this bottom section here. I apologize, that happens sometimes. Like that, and you see how they snug up next to the beads. And I think I might enlarge this a bit so you can really see what's happening here. See, all that nice like that. So yeah, I'm going to enlarge this a bit. Pick up 2 more. So here's the thing with herringbone is you need sets of 2 beads side by side. So we're going to do 2 rows. So 2 this way, 2 that way. So coming out of here, we're going to go into here like that. I have a lot of thread right now, but I wanted to make sure, because we're going to do one whole side of that bracelet. So you're going to come up through the bottom here. Okay, so there is your ladder stitch. Now we're going to start adding to this, to like the herringbone. So you pick up 2 beads. You're coming out of here. You're going to go in through this bead alone. Like that. And you see how they pop into place. So now you're going to go from the bottom of this bead, you're going to go through the bottom of the next one to add. So your thread will get hidden between the 2 beads. And the green thread is amazing for that too. But you know what, I have to tell you, one day I don't know why I used white thread, and you couldn't see it either. So it's not a big deal if you don't have green thread. So now you're coming up this top here, you're going to go down this next bead and that bead alone. And that through, and there you go. Now you can just continue like this. I like to flip it over and makes it a little easier to work on the right side and going the other way to the left. So now your thread's coming out of here. You want to be up here so you can add your beads here. So in a lot of the designs I see they add one bead, and in the Allie video she adds one bead. I find you can really see the thread. So I started adding 3 smaller beads and it looks amazing, but it definitely adds width to your bracelet, which is kind of what I wanted anyway. But I did do some peyote, or sorry, not peyote. I did do some herringbone with delicas, and I used the same size delica but a different color, and I put it in here and you totally can't see the thread. So just play with the different beads to figure out what looks good for you. So I'm adding 3 of these 11 O's, and these are like, I think they're the Miyuki ones, so they're super tiny compared to say an 11O Toho, which I used as well, and I'll show you in another video what that looks like. So you can definitely see they're bigger. They don't sit like a rounded piece. They're kind of boxy, but there you go. So now we are ready to add our herringbone again. So you just take 2 beads, go down the bead beside it and through. And if, yeah, I mean, if you know how to do this already, it's just forward to the part where we add those beads. But I wanted to do something where somebody who's not done herringbone can get a chance to do it. And I will work on my skills at this so that I can do some really good instructional videos, because I really, really enjoy this. So I don't want people to do the same thing I did and say poo-poo on herringbone when it is so much fun, so easy, and usually involves beads you already have around the house. So after saying that around the house, I'm like, yeah, like we have beads around the house. No, they're in our beading space. So take 3 of the 11 O's. You're coming out of this bead here. You're going to go into the bottom of that one there and pull it through. So you can see there's some disparity in where these seed beads are, but at the end I usually end up adding so that it's even across. You can like alter it so that you maybe skip. Well, I guess you have to do that one, so never mind. Add your 2 for your herringbone through here. See if I can do this so you can see them pop into place. And you pull it snug. Switch over to the next bead. So you're coming out of this one here. You're going to go into the bottom of the one next to it. Add your 2 beads of the 8 O's. And coming out of this bead, you're going to go into this one here. And I'm going to flip that just to make it easier to pull all my threads through. And sometimes like this happens, so you kind of have to nudge that bead and flip it into position like that. Here's the thing I just want to point out. So right now we have a space in between these 2, but every time you go across, you're going to pull it together. So not to worry. So pick up 3 11-O's. You're coming out of this bead here and then going into this one, the bottom. Pull it through and just hanging on to my beads. So when you're doing this edging part, it is probably a good idea to hang on to these beads because these were the last ones you added on. So they might get a bit loose and pop up and stuff. So I like to hang on to them. Coming out of here, going into this one. Pop that in there like that. So we're in the bottom of this one here. We're going to go into the next one through the bottom. So I'll just continue like that as I talk because I always have lots to say. It's so funny when I start out with an instructional video. I feel like I'm being like really professional and quiet and then you do this and then you do that. Pick up your 3 11-O's and go through this bottom here. But then once I get going, it's like, okay, the real party's starting. So we just keep going. And I probably will go and grab the... So what I've done was I actually created the 2 ends to this. And then we're going to add the pave ball in once we have our 2 ends. So I'm going to show you how to do this and add these side beads. So actually I was thinking initially I would do a whole strand, but you know what? We don't have to do a whole strand. I could just add them just so you see how I added them. And then I magically have 2 ready to go. So I'm just going to flip that and put those on like that. But this is super easy once you know what to do. So I'm super excited. If you saw the unboxing or the friend mail video and then the following one, which was the first bracelet I made with the goodies that Diane sent me. It's a breast cancer bracelet. I mentioned because I have so many of those beads that I will be doing a bunch of the... Let me show you those bracelets here, that bracelet. So this was the bracelet that I made. So I have the supplies. Now this is the amount of cord that I have, the silver silk it's called. So I'll only be able to make as many of these guys as I have this. But let me know if you're interested. This is memory wire. I will make one for you for sure. So just message me or put a comment, and if you have my email, go ahead and email me. I haven't decided what to do. I'm definitely not selling them. I'm giving them away. And I would totally mail them to people, but shipping's really expensive. So if you're interested, I think what I might suggest is if you pay the shipping, I'll send you one. The shipping's probably about $8, which is like crazy for something small like that. It should be less, but since the cost of gas has gone up, there's a fuel surcharge on the shipping, so it's changed it quite a bit. Be interesting to see how many I get done with that tubing. And a few people mentioned the creator of that silver silk, and I haven't had a chance to look at the videos yet. I did kind of, I think I watched one without the audio and went, oh, okay. So I was wondering if the tube was there as part of the bracelet, and so I realized in watching it that you're supposed to take the tube out, and it just creates that little the really incredible wire. So I'll have to, maybe I'll try that with the green one, is to try to use it the way it was intended. So I hope that this is giving you an idea on herringbone, so you can see how fast, if you were sitting on the couch watching TV, how quickly you could create a bracelet with this. So let me grab the other pieces and I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll attach one of these. So I have another ball. Let me bring this out a bit. So this is what we're gonna do. Ta-da! So this turned out amazing. So let me move these guys over. So you do one side, attach those two pieces, and then you do the other side, attach the two pieces like that. And then we're going to attach this, and this together. So I haven't figured that part out, but we'll do it together. Oh. Okay, so let's do this. So with having this, let's add our little, so it kind of creates like a picot effect. So pick up 3, go through this bottom bead. And you know what? Let's move those 8-ohs out of the way because we don't really need them right now. And we actually don't need these either for this. We'll just set them close by. So let's need these guys. So you're coming out of this bead. Let's enlarge this again. Okay. So we're going to add the black first. So there's 4 holes in this. So you're going to, and we're actually going to add both at the same time. So you're going to find the end hole, and then the end hole on this one. Put that through, and bring it down onto your work, like that. Then, so this, when you get started, it's going to be a bit loose. No worries, you can tighten it. So we're going to skip to the second hole on both beads, and the second hole on this, on your 8-ohs. Well, not the second hole, but the second bead. And you can see how it's, you just pull in, get it snug, flip that over. And if it's still loose, you can always pull your thread here and then pull on it this way, and it will get that in place, and then let go and pull that snug. So now we're going to kind of do like we were doing with the herringbone. So you're coming out of the bottom of this 8-oh, you're going to go over to the next one and go through the bottom of it, and then go up through the third hole. So that's the third hole. Pull everything tight like that. Super simple. Then we're going to go from the third hole to the fourth hole, through both beads, and through the fourth bead, like that. Just like that. Now we're going to go back the other way and up and down through the holes. We're going to do that a few times just to secure this in place. So up through the third bead, through the third holes, like that, and pull everything tight. So you're in the third hole. We're going to go through the second hole on both of these beads and through the second 8-0 on the first row, or the row closest to those beads, like that. Then over to the first bead, through the first hole on both of those beads. Pull that tight, and this is now really secure, like that's not going anywhere. So you can go a third time if you want. I'm not gonna bother, but I am gonna put a knot in this. So I'm just gonna scoop up this thread here, get my needle under it without damaging the thread, because it's kind of snug now. We were so good at what we're doing there. There. Oh, there. Like that. We're going to run the thread around twice and pull it next to the thread, and then pull everything through. Like that. So you can see your knot, but now we're going to hide that knot in through here. And you can add a second knot. Like there, there. Disappeared. There we go. So now we can put a knot in here. You're going to grab a piece of thread like that. Bring your thread around a few times and then hold it in place and tight. And then maybe go up here one more time. Pull that tight and it hides that thread or that knot. And then you can come down maybe a few beads. You can either save this thread coming out this way so that you can add your pave ball in the other side, or if you have a thread on the other end, like I have one thread that I hid and got rid of, and then I have the other thread that's ready to go to attach the pave ball. So you can always just clip that and it's done. But I'm gonna leave that because I haven't decided what to do with that yet. I could use that as a part of a purse charm. I could add the pave ball, and that would be kind of nice. So let's thread this. So this is the tricky part. So we don't need those right now. It's not tricky. It's just I haven't done it, and you know what? When I'm doing videos, I like to test everything first before I show you guys. Even though I say like it's just totally impromptu, I do actually do some research. Okay, so I think we need to use the two middle holes to attach the pave because the hole is right there. So I don't want a bunch of threads coming off the side. So let's weave this piece in and through the bead as well. Might as well secure it even though it's already secured. So then go up through the third hole Okay, ready to go. Here's the other thing too, is this thread is really strong, but I was a little concerned that it was too thin. So you might want to add some, say, 10-pound tests. Now, I don't think I have 10-pound in the green. I think if I added the 10-pound in the white, or even a 6-pound would go like a fire line. As long as you can hide your thread, I think I might go up or recommend it. So we're just going to go through this bead. That. So since we're through try to go through the same hole is what I'm getting at. So we're going to go through the middle holes, and because we went through the left side middle hole, we're going to go through the left side middle hole here. And I'm trying to go through just that first bead, but you know what, it's so snug that there we go. Ta-da! Okay, so now we are going, so we're coming out of this 8-0, we're going to go to the next one and go through it and through the other hole and come out through, go through the second middle hole, and there we go, and just through this 8-0. So this is looking amazing. Pull through. This is just my tail that's in the way. Oh wow, this is amazing. This, you know, when I saw this sitting on my mat, I was thinking I should do a necklace or a choker. Oh my god, this would be amazing as a choker. Yeah, I'll have to do another one of these and do it the full length for a choker. Okay, so we're going to go up and down these a few times so that we have lots of thread securing it. And if you can't get through everything on one pass of your needle, by all means, like pull your needle out and then go through the next beads. So I'm just gonna see if I can get everything snug. Okay, so go over to the next bead and through everything again. Yeah, it might be harder to go through as you tighten it because the hole of the bead is right in the middle. So there's a bit of wiggling your needle over. There, that. We gotta figure out a nice, oh, this is, what? I can't believe it. This is really pretty. So let's go one more time. I would probably do this maybe 6 times through, and that may sound like crazy overkill, but if you felt these pave balls, they're super heavy. I just worry that I'm sure the thread is fine. Okay, so this will be the last time I go through for this. I will reinforce it off camera. Okay. Oh, we got schmoozled. Pull this through. There we go. And you know what? Okay, so we have one on this side. Oh, we have a thing on that side. So I think I might tie this off and because we have enough thread on either end to put our clasp. So let me go down a bit more here. There, through here. Pick up our thread like that. Go around. And go through a few more. And I will tie another knot, because since this thread is what's holding our beads together at the middle, I want to make sure if the first knot comes undone, the second knot's going to hold it tight. That. And go through, and we'll cut it off. So now we have to figure out, I'm going to clip this. And I'm going to need my needle. Put this there. Now we need a clasp. So let's take a look at my gold clasps. I think I know. Oh, kids. Oh my gosh, so delicious. So this looks like the width of this. Oh wow. This actually looks pretty awesome. That looks amazing. I was thinking there's a little wider, but I think it's too big for that. Yeah, I think that's too big. So maybe that one. And I'll just double check. Ooh, I have this one that's about the same size. That's nice too. I have such a hard time making decisions. Look. But I like this one. Let's try that one. Oh, I have another. I have too many choices. That's awesome. It looks out of focus here. Yeah, I think that one. Okay. So let's, oh, let me take a look at this. It's lopsided here. So some of these, they're super inexpensive. So you have to, I would recommend when you buy stuff to actually go through them as if you were going to use them, because stuff like that happens where then, you know, you get it out of the baggies and put it in your storage and you forget, and then you go to use it, you're like, oh, this is missing a crystal, or oh, this clasp is not going in right. This one's really hard to open and close. So if you have problems with your fingers, like, that's really snug. You know what, let me get the other one. Let's see if that one, the round one's a little easier to open. Yeah, see, the foot is a little longer. Oh, sorry, the foot's a little longer. So let's see. Still snug. I I just, you know, with my issues with my fingers, I worry that other people are going to have problems too. So I think we can do the round one for now. And I will see if I can adjust these with my tools to kind of get it a little easier to use. This was just my way of using the round one. It's so pretty. So it's thread or needle here. And you know what? My camera is still tilted. There. Let's get this so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. So it looks like it's coming out of the middle, one of the middle holes. So it's coming out of this hole here. So let's go ahead and use, and this actually is bent. Let me, you know what, maybe I should leave it. I'm afraid if I go to bend it, it'll break off. I can hear you guys saying, no, Emma, don't touch it. Oh my God, this is like really tight. It's still up a bit. It seems pretty secure, so I'm there. Did I scare you guys? Okay, so we're gonna go through the middle hole. Do you know what? I'm gonna do something different. I kind of like to hide these holes. You can like take seed beads and attach seed beads so that it would create another little length here, but I like to hide it that way. So to do that, let's bring our thread back down here. Yeah, actually, no, you know what I'm going to do? I don't want to back up on my thread. I'm going to go to the next one down like that. Helps if my thread is still on my needle. So that's a point I wanted to make about these needles. These were the cheap AliExpress needles that were supposed to be pony needles, and clearly they were not. And so I did get a full refund for all of them. And I have had probably about 5 of them break just in threading or in using them. They just snap in half, which I've never had with any other needle. And then the other thing is the eye is so big that your thread doesn't stay in. And for the most part, it's kind of an annoyance. It's not like a major deal breaker, but if you were working on something really intricate and your thread kept popping out of the eye, so I have to make sure I hang on to the tail coming through the other side like that. So you don't need that annoying issue. So let me just, I guess it doesn't matter, it's two-sided, so I'm going to bring this around. So I'm coming up through the bottom of my work, and I'm going to go through the middle hole like this. Okay, so that will take it to the back. Now we're going to go through this same bead that we are coming out of on the other side. See if I can get this through. Hold that through. Turn it. So it's going to sit like that. So now let's go to the bead next to it. And hang on to my thread. Okay, it's not quite there yet, but it will when we get the next one through. So we're going to go through that middle hole again on the clasp. Yeah, it's falling out again. Pull that through. And then we're going to come up through the back of this bead like that, and snug it up there. Okay. So now we're going to go over to the next, and we can go through everything again, but we're going to go over to the next bead like this. So now we're coming out through the back. We're going to go through the clasp on the back side of it like that, and that will position it. I'm going to go through this side one a few times. So you can see it's starting to get into place. So I am coming out of the bottom of that bead. I'm going to go through the clasp again and do that a few times to really snug that in. Put that down. And again with the thread here. Okay. So let's go through the top of that side bead. Sorry about my fingers being in the way. Like that. Go into the second bead from the bottom. And we're going to work our way over to the other side. Just my thread, stop it from, pull everything tight. Okay. Go through the middle hole on the clasp. I'm gonna come up here so I can get through the bead without flipping it. So I'm going to go through the bottom of this third bead here. Keep pulling it tight. Okay. I'm going to go through the middle hole again and then go to this side. Oh, that didn't go through. There we go. So now we're going to go through this bead here from the bottom. And now we're going to go through this end hole that's on the clasp. Flip that over so you can see what you're doing. And so we're going to go through the bottom and through the loop again and do that a few times to secure it, and we'll tie this off. And again, I would definitely do more securing than this, although if you take a look, that is not going anywhere. So that's awesome. Awesome possum. Okay, let me go through that bead. I just want to make sure that's snug there. And let's go through the bead next to it and down a couple of beads and we'll tie off. There. Get our thread. Bring this around twice. Hang on to it. Hang on to my thread. Pull nice and tight. And then, so you might want to do another knot. I'm running out of thread. I'm going to reinforce it anyway, so just for the sake of the video, I will go on. So that's the one side. Looks amazing. So let's add the other side. Remember to put your clasp on correctly on the second piece. And honestly, I say that all the time, and I have actually done it in a video where I'm thinking, you guys must have been yelling, Emma, it's backwards. So I'm going to put it back together like that. Now this, yeah, I guess this one has 3. And this has jump rings. Let me see if they are closed or not. I find when they have the jump rings already, they usually solder them. So yeah, this has been soldered right there. So you don't have to worry about your thread passing through the opening on your jump ring. So that's lovely to have that. And I suspect with this type of closure, because it's got this like foot paddle thing to pinch open, it when you attach your bracelet here, you still need to be able to squeeze this together. But if you attach, like if you do like I did on this side, the beads would be in the way. So that's probably why they add the jump rings. So it's gonna be extended out. It'll look a bit, I don't know, for me unfinished, but we'll see. If you have any suggestions for that, sometimes what I do is I add little beads like 15 O's. After I've attached it and secured it with a totally separate thread, I'll add some 15 O's or 11 O's depending on the size of the beads. So I'm making sure that this is attached correctly. So we're coming out of this middle. So we'll start with the middle. That. So you can see what's going to happen is you're going to get this. I wonder if we put it underneath or put it over top. It looks a bit funny, the dots on the top, so I think I'll just leave it with the jump rings. So let's go through this. So let's attach this middle piece and then we'll move on to the sides. Hopefully I have enough thread. So that's what I was saying about having enough thread. I'm like, I feel like, you know, there's not enough. Okay. And I just have to hang on to this. Excuse me for clearing my throat. It's allergy season. And I'm just amazed at how bad my allergies are. So I'm going through the last one here on this side. And this should be straightforward here. So I'm not particularly happy about this setup for adding the clasp, but I'm sure it'll be. Oh, you know what I did is I went through this on the. I think I might leave it. It kind of brings it up snug. So let's do that again. Happy mistakes. Okay, so let's go down this one and over. Back to the other side. Oh, look. My thread. Well, the one good thing about the big eye is I can actually thread it. And normally I take this apart when I'm adding a clasp, but you know what? It's actually not too bad, so too concerned. I'm going to go through the next bead and down through the clasp. Well, the jump ring on that one because, and it's over the foot here. Okay, I'm just flipping it to the other side. I'm going to go through the bottom of the middle bead. And I need to see it. There we go. And Let's go through this guy, through here. This is not too bad. Through, I think one more time. We're getting low on thread here. Okay. So I think it's time to tie this off. So let's go through the top of that bead, down a few. There's so many things that it gets hooked on. Okay. So pick up your thread, like that. And careful, this is coming out. Let me grab it with my other finger. So wrap that around once and twice, pull that down, pull that through, and hang on to that. And again, I will reinforce this, so I'm not going to do a second knot because I'm never going to have enough thread here. So this is super exciting. I am definitely going to make a choker with this and see how many amazing bracelets. Oh, I just realized it's like flipping around. Like you can see it flipping. So that's awesome. And that's what it looks like on the back. Let's open that up. Oh, lovely. This is amazing. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you get something out of it. Yeah, I really love this design. I am a big Art Deco fan. So I love, to me, this is very Art Deco, very decadent. And I mean, this would be amazing with an evening dress. Just beautiful. Lovely. So there you go. Show you the clasp. Ta-da! Oh, it's upside down. So yeah, these flip because this is not the... So, okay, so this is a... If you make a mistake putting your clasp on, it doesn't matter because it flips. Because if you look, this part is on the wrong side. So let's... There we go. Now they're on the right side. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful Easter, and we'll see you in the next video. There's tons of stuff more to make, so we'll see if I get another bracelet. I think for sure these cabochons will be in the next. Should make an Easter one with these. They look amazing. And I definitely want to make something right away with these guys. But bunnies for me is any time of the year. Take care, everybody. Bye.